All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Shamans Directory live event, Life in Ceremony, with special guest Mayumi Beckers. Thank you all for joining us today. I am Trisha Bennett. I live on the northeast coast of the United States, and I am one of the founding members of Shamans Directory, and always honored to have the opportunity to welcome all of you on our Saturdays. I welcome everyone to say hello in the chat and let us know where you're from, and also to settle yourself into your own sacred space so that you can really absorb. I see people opening sacred space right now on the screen, and just settle yourself into this space so that we can receive and be together in this moment. So for those of you who don't know Shamans Directory, we are an online global platform dedicated to bringing shamanic earth-based wisdom to the world's doorstep. We are inclusive to original people, First Nation healers, and modern day lineage-based shamanic practitioners. We are a nonprofit created for healers, teachers, clients, and the curious to offer shamanic healing and teaching to anyone who is looking for that. If you are not already a part of our growing global community, we invite you to visit our website at shamansdirectory.com to learn more about us, sign up for our monthly newsletter, or follow us on social media at Shamans Directory. And all of our past live events and interviews with members of the directory are available on our YouTube channel. So I will put those links in the chat, as well as links on how to reach Mayumi during today's program. So now we will move on to today's offering, Life in Ceremony. So I'm going to let you know a little bit about Mayumi before she begins. So I see many familiar faces who have joined us today who already know Mayumi, but for those of you who don't, Mayumi Beckers is a modern medicine woman and a founding member of Shamans Directory. Familiar to many as one of the hosts for our summits and live events, most people do not know that she is also the woman behind the design of our website and anything else that you may find visually elegant about the directory. The flow of life led Mayumi to the practice of shamanic energy medicine. She has studied with many teachers and offers many techniques, from addressing stress and depression to energetic clearing and soul retrieval. She is here to assist anyone in their healing journey. After living and working in the fast-paced cities of Tokyo and London for many years, she now lives a more natural, balanced life in the countryside along the River Wall in the Netherlands. Mayumi believes that life is an ongoing school of consciousness, and there is wonderful shamanic, earth-based wisdom to be found all around the world. Wisdom that can assist us in accessing our true essential self, rebalancing our energies, and liberating ourselves from our past and limiting beliefs so that we may walk through life with renewed excitement for being alive. In her private practice, she offers sessions both online and in person. So welcome, Mayumi, to the program.
Thank you, Trisha, and for introducing me. And good day, everyone. I feel truly honored to be here with you in ceremony and also to be here live at Shamans Directory for the first time presenting. And today's session is prepared in tribute of one of my beloved teachers, Master Puma Fredy Quispe Singona. And I've been really deeply moved by the depth and beauty of his teachings and his commitment to share all of his wisdom and his traditions to global community. So we may as well live in a better relationship with Mother Earth and all living things. And on my path, I've been drawn to the Andean mystical traditions. And in all honesty, I have many teachers in this Andean tradition. But today, I really want to celebrate Master Puma for all of his amazing wisdom traditions. And I have been studying with him since 2020. And I just finished a year-long course, which is called Peruvian Healing Practices and Sacred Ceremonial Service Immersion, that was co-hosted with the Shift Network. And I will tell you a little bit more about that later in this presentation. And in the Andes, what is so beautiful is that they are raised living in right relationship, and they live with all of the nature spirits and all the elements, and they live in gratitude and love, and they consider really the Mother Earth as their mother and the Father Sky as their father. And today, I would like to offer something back here in ceremony, as they always offer themselves back in ceremony every day, and offer little teachings here. And this is just scratching the surface, really, because Master Puma has so much richness to his teachings. But I wanted to get some of the essence out of it. And when you bring this to mind and be more in alignment with this idea that we can be in ceremony every day, then it kind of can open some perspective, and it can some sort of change your life in a way. And before we move into this ceremony, I would like to tell you a little bit more about myself. There was already a little introduction, of course, but to let you know how I came onto this shamanic path. And I grew up with Buddhist parents, and I received my name from a Buddhist master teacher in Japan. And my name, Mayumi, means bow of truth. And my name actually really reminded me to find my truth and to find my own awakening. And this awakening process was a very long process, actually. And like many shamanic healers in the Western world, I had a different career, I had a different life, I had a different lifestyle. And I was living in Tokyo and then in London, as was mentioned in the introduction as well. And I was working in the creative communications industry for about 16 years. And 15 years ago, I was about 30 years old. I lost my brother to suicide, and I am not sure where I will be if I did not experience that and if I did not lose my brother. And this might sound strange, but if it wasn't really for his death, I may have continued my life I had been doing. And after my brother's death, I had another major event where I experienced the earthquake in Japan, and I literally really felt Mother Earth shaking. And then I moved to London, and I actually buried my grief into work because I never knew how to grieve. And I was not only looking outward and not inward. So it was a really difficult time for me. And I knew that I had to make some changes in my life and work on myself. And as they say, when the student is ready, the teachers appear. And I was really fortunate to meet a great shamanic healer and teacher in London, and also experience Mother Ayahuasca as well. And it was only when my mother had a big stroke and was hospitalized. And this was actually on the same day when my father was declared cancer free after years of alternative healing, that I was again faced with this concept of death. And I knew I had to make some changes in my life. And I traveled back and forth for about 2 years to support my father and mother in the Netherlands. And of course, this became a bit exhausting. and all arrows were sort of pointing into the direction that I had to go back home to the Netherlands and be with my family. And that is what I did. So I went back to my roots. I live in my grandfather's house, and he was an apothecary and knew a lot of plants and trees and made the medicine himself. And this is also when the time I, after my burnout from work, really that I took a sabbatical for myself. So this is also where I heard this sort of calling, this genetic or ancestral calling to look into and explore further what I'm here to do. And this is also a time that I encountered some shamanic healers, and they said that I can do what they do. So I thought maybe to explore this a little bit more seriously. And this is how I got onto the shamanic path, and I met amazing teachers along the way. And I am also someone who studies a lot. Is maybe also a little bit that I have always this feeling that I have some catching up to do, but I really consider myself as a student of life and consciousness, and there's always something more to learn, and especially in ceremony. And I've been told by many, also my colleagues, that I taking a lot of training and courses all the time, and I know I am, but it really drives me to be and become a great healer as as I possibly can, of course, to assist other peoples in their healing journey in the same way that I needed assistance myself as well. So now I'd like to give you a first teaching about offering ourselves in Aini. And in the Andean tradition, there is the cosmic law of Aini to be in sacred reciprocity, to give and receive consciously. And by being conscious of that, we can actually also move energy. And it's also about being in right relationship with all living things and in balance. And in the Western world, we tend to take, and whether we do this consciously or unconsciously or through all the conditionings, we must be a bit more conscious about how we can give back to our family and community and the earth. And as Master Puma says, that we really must catch up on reciprocity and also this exchange of the cycle of life, because everything belongs here to Mother Earth. We have all of the beautiful elements that is all of hers, and we need to give back. And how we can do that is by giving offerings. So this session is also an act of an offering. It's an act of service, being in service to Mother Earth and in tribute to Master Puma, but also to offer something to you all and to this global community at Shamans Directory, and to really honor this living tradition and all of these wonderful wisdom teachings that have been kept alive for centuries. And Master Puma teaches us that we can become offerings ourselves in order to be of best service to others and Mother Earth. And we do this by acknowledging all that we have here, acknowledging all of these sacred allies, Pachamama Earth, in this sacred time and space, and to be really present here in this moment so we can offer ourselves and be a gift. We can become a present in the present. And by being a present and a gift, we can actually touch everything and everyone around us in this sort of sacred time and space. And I want to quote Master Puma, because this is how he starts almost every teaching and every ceremony. He says, today is the best day to be in ceremony. So today is the best day to be alive and to be celebrated. And this phrase or mantra can actually be repeated every day, and to honor and celebrate life, and that it is a miracle, it is a sacred, and there's always more possibilities for more miracles to come. And being ceremony is also an art form, it's a way of living and a way to be in service, the art of living life in gratitude and the art of living life in love. And we are maybe not really conscious about this, but we have been given life by our cosmic father and cosmic mother. So we are having this miracle experience of life here on earth. And in sacred reciprocity, we can give something back to Pachamama, to our Mother Earth, and give ourselves everything, our offering. So this is an opportunity to become an offering ourselves and become a prayer and a blessing for everything and everyone around us as an offering. And life is ceremony, and it is also something that is really sacred, because being alive is being sacred and it is a ceremony. And we must not forget that we are also always blessed. We are always blessed by Mother Earth. We are always blessed by our sacred allies, our cosmic father and cosmic mother. And what is also very important to know is that when we are in ceremony or in prayer, actually, like at any given moment in time, thousands of people around the world are in prayer or in ceremony as well. So we can actually really utilize that energy and be connected and vibrate in a higher frequency. And it's also important to be conscious about being connected in this vibration with people who are in the same frequency or vibrating higher, so we can expand that high frequency of energy for the healing of ourselves and our world around us and the earth. And another important teaching from Master Puma is that nothing is ours. Everything here is for us. So also this ceremony is not ours. It's not mine and it's not yours, but we are sort of joining it. We are partaking it. And because Pachamama and our cosmic family, they are always in ceremony. All the elements are always in ceremony, but by being more conscious of that aspect, that these are always in present and in ceremony, we can actually create ceremony together and join together. It's kind of like this example of the air that we breathe. The air is already in ceremony. By being conscious of it, we are actually breathing with the air, and we kind of creating this beautiful ceremony. And by our breath and our intent, we can send these blessings to others. And it's also about being in ceremony is that we are really free. We are in a sacred time and space. We are absolutely present and able to transcend any heavy living energies. And because of that consciousness of being this sort of light energy and being able to transmute heavy living energies, we become actually our medicine ourselves. And when we start to live every day in ceremony, our life actually starts to change, because we start to perceive and respond to things differently. We may start to slow down and go more within and pause. And when we start also to really admire all nature's wonders that are always available to us, the sun, the moon, the stars, all of the cycles, all of the seasons, the beautiful mountains and hills, the lakes, the waters, the oceans, the rivers, the animals, the plants, all of these things. And also even every encounter that we have on a day with people, these become also ceremony. And even the mundane, or we think it's the mundane things, like our food that nourishes us, or the water that heals and cleanses us, and all the materials that we use that come from Mother Earth, that is all for our own comfort. And so we can go on with that, and we can appreciate it more, and everything becomes ceremony. So for me, I had this experience that I really like to share with you. It didn't happen so long ago, and I had just this normal day, and I was driving back, and when I was about to enter my street, I saw this rainbow, a rainbow that was sort of crossing my home around the street, and I was actually driving through it, through this portal, this rainbow arch, and it already felt like an absolute miracle and a blessing because I never really experienced that. I heard some people experiencing that, but I never had it myself. And then when I was at home, I had dinner, and I and my partner decided to go for a walk. So we went across the River Waal, which is also known as the River Rhine, coming from the Alps in Switzerland. And we went to this forest, and after that walk, we went back home, and then we kept seeing rainbows. Now I saw like a rainbow arch over the River Waal, but I saw many rainbows, and now we were chasing the rainbows in the car. And it was an absolute miracle because we crossed two more portals of rainbows. And often was sort of wondering where a rainbow might start or end, and if we were actually able to see that beginning point. And whilst we were driving in the car, I actually saw the rainbow moving with us. And I really felt the spirit of the rainbow, and then it faded away. And this not only happened once, but twice. So I was felt really blessed by this amazing experience, and it was an absolute miracle. And of course, it reminded me of Master Puma because his lineage is called the Rainbow Lineage or Kanjis Ilya lineage. So I want to tell you a little bit more about his teachings of the Rainbow lineage. And I want to express a few words here how much I really appreciate Master Puma for carrying forward his wisdom from his lineage and to his global community as well. And as with many lineage-based traditions across the world, it's amazing that these lineages, peoples, and traditions have survived for thousands of years, and that these are carefully passed on from generation to generation in order to keep these traditions from these ancestors alive. And what really touched me was that Master Puma said that we are answering the prayers of our ancestors, their prayers for the awakening of the global community, and that we are the living manifestation of their prayers. And he also says that his teachings are not coming from him, but from his grandfathers and grandmothers who kept this alive. And these ancestors also programmed these prayers, and they were medicine carriers. They were mesa carriers, or in other words, medicine people. And he also really says that this lineage is not ours, but it's actually from Pachamama, Mother Earth. It's from our cosmic father and cosmic father, and it's also from our ancestors and the stars. So we can tap into that wisdom and create ceremony. And from a young age, he was taught by his grandfather, Papa Kai, in secret, and being a medicine person was also more done in secret. And nowadays, it's more open and widely shared even to the world. So I'm so grateful that we can actually receive these teachings, these ancient teachings and knowledges to really understand how all of these cosmic energies work, and really for the betterment of ourselves and family and community and the earth. And we are answering these ancestors' prayers from the past to bring them forward for the next generation and assist in our collective, our global healing, our global awakening, and our global evolution. And essentially, in ceremony, we are planting seeds. We are always planting seeds, always constantly in communion with our sacred allies, with Pachamama, and being in gratitude and sharing in sacred time and sacred space this divine knowledge and wisdom of these traditions. And this is also how we create this sacred space and raise our frequency in ceremony. And again, nothing is ours and everything is for us, and we become part of this ceremony, and we create this sense of belonging, and we're never alone, we're always together. Actually, that's also what he says. And we call ourselves into this sacred ceremonial space. And Master Puma was trained to do this. He was trained by his grandfather to do this, to work globally and forward the wisdom and medicine to create a global family and community. And I truly feel honored to be part of this sort of global family that we are actually all are. and also to receive the permission to share his knowledge as well. And for anyone who's practicing the shamanic mystical healing arts, it is also really important to have that lineage or that living lineage as a backup. So whenever you feel that you need that extra support for the person who's receiving or giving it, you are getting that extra support. So that is also so important, I believe, to have that backup of the lineage. So I really want to acknowledge and honor that and his lineage and our ancestors for all that I have learned and for being able to share that source of these wisdom traditions with others. And I also want to say something about Master Puma's organization, which is called No Kankani, and that is for a very good reason. And No Kankani means I am. And the No Kankani medicine, I am, means actually this I am can change. It can change every time. It can change in this present moment and in ceremony, because life is mysterious. We never know what tomorrow will bring us. We may ever always surprise us in life. And there's so much more to live for, to experience, and to explore this life here on earth. And there's also what he also says, there's always something that is yet to be. The yet to be part is unknown. And this I am can always change right now in this moment by being fully present and by already envisioning what we want, what we are hoping for or dreaming for. We're already actually creating some sort of a direction to the future. But it's important to be in this present moment and that we can plant those seeds now. And when we are in ceremony, we are also tend to be more in the flow of life, and that we can also be more open for all of these miracles that are happening within our lives. And these miracles may even become the new normal. And taking myself as an example, I was studying communications, I had a career in branding, and at the time I really thought I could do nothing else other than that. And once I ended pursuing this path, I discovered that I actually have some more skills and more qualities. And of course, it never occurred to me that I would become a healer myself. But now I discovered that I can cook, I can sing, I can make medicine, I can make offerings, I can assist people on their healing journey, and I can also use senses that may not everybody can do, or at least not yet. And I can also use some of these branding skills whenever I need them. For example, for Shamans Directory, if we need something for the design, I can sort of help with that. So all of that knowledge, nothing is lost, and life is full of miracles, and you may surprise yourself again and again. And what Puma also says that I think is very important is that we must be very generous with this I am part and a yet to be part. And we also must remember that life is really sacred and it is a divine mystery, and that we never may know ourselves fully, and that we are always discovering parts of ourselves, discovering more parts of ourselves that have been untouched. And in ceremony, we're also always able to discover our new I am. We may have new encounters with in ceremony and in our group or with our spirit allies. So we always are rediscovering new parts of ourselves. And we always should be open to these new possibilities and to also be open to continue in this to this self-realization process, and do this also with our confidence and certainty, because I have been there as well, like being in doubt or in fear. But once we do that, we actually create immediately some blockages. So we really need to do this with confidence and certainty. And in ceremony, like I said, we are planting seeds with every intent, and we are awakening that seed within us, this self-realization process. and we are here to nurture our seed and cultivate it, so in order to bloom ourselves as well and to become in self-realization and to really celebrate our divinity in all its glory, and ultimately also to give the fruits in service, to give the fruits to our family, our community, and the earth. So, to give a little sense about all of these wonderful things that we have available to us, all of nature wonders, and all of the medicine that is here for us, I have prepared a prayer and in gratitude as well. And we will be posting this prayer in writing after this ceremony. So it will be recorded and it will be underneath our YouTube video on our channel. So you can go back to that prayer and then you can use it. You may want to modify it, but this is something so you can bring in ceremony in your day, every day in your life, and also to be in gratitude. So I invite you to close your eyes and get grounded. And of course, for the Mesa carriers, if you have your medicine bundle, you can have them here with you. And if you haven't light up a candle, you may want to do that or smudge yourself. And whenever you're ready, we can start. And let's ground and have your feet firmly on Pachamama Earth. And feel her roots and feel her unconditional support. And have your spine straight from the top, from your crown that reaches out to the cosmos. So you really feel that connection with the world above us and below us, and we are at the center. And honoring our cosmic father, our cosmic mother, Viracocha and Pachacamach, our sacred time and sacred space, the sacred divine masculine, the sacred divine feminine, who gave life here for us, and to be in this ceremonial space. And honoring Pachamama Nusta, our Mother Earth, Hampui, come and be with us here. And sending praise of love and gratitude to our beloved Mother Earth, our greatest guardian, our greatest guide, our Mother, our Goddess, and thank her for all of her abundance and generosity and support that she gives us in life and in our evolution. And for all the portals that she opens to us so that we can experience life to the greatest. And honoring the masculine and the feminine, the great lords and masters, the apukunas, the mountain spirits, the hills and the lands, as well as the great goddesses, the nustakunas, the waters, the rivers, the lakes, the oceans, the caves and volcanoes, thanking the mountain and water spirits for always looking after us, and for all of our plants, the trees, the flowers, the fruits, and the fungi that are growing abundantly for us, and enabling us to root ourselves into her and be part of her as a tree of life. And for all of the animal creatures that we may connect with and be learning from. The Kenti hummingbird, Amaru serpent, Kuntur condor, Titi puma, and Hampatu frog, and all of our elements for great transformation, the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and the great spirits of the plants, the Sacharuna, thanking them for supporting us, interrelating with us, and giving us the wisdom and medicine to walk our path and experience the beauty and magic of being alive. Thank you, Pachamama Mother Earth, for always taking care of us, being there for us, and sending love and life energy to us. Let us become miraculous as we commune with you, dear Pachamama, to create access to your spiritual and elemental forces, so we can create miracles for ourselves, our family, and community. and calling on the directions, Tawanti Suyu, the four sacred directions, Hampui, come and be with us here, to the direction of the east, Anti Suyu, Apu, Nusta, Munai, unconditional love, Vulkanina, the sacred fire, Hampui, come and be with us. Thank you for the great sun that rises up in the east and that wakens us every day, guiding us and supporting us through the cycles of life, renewing ourselves and giving us new life for new potentials and opportunities. Thank you for bringing us warmth in our heart and connecting us with the essence of Munai, the unconditional love under our power of will. Thank you for teaching us your sacred wisdom for Sivar Kenti, the great hummingbird, the cosmic brightest and sweetest being, for always finding the nectar, the honey light, and the beauty in everything and everyone around us, transcending, transmuting, and transforming every challenges, and most importantly, to find our inner nectar, that inner fire of self-love within. To the direction of the south, Kola Suyu, Hampui, Apu Nusta, Yachai, sacred wisdom, and Wilka Vida, the sacred wind and air for liberation. Hampui, come and be with us here. Thank you for connecting us with all of our relations and every single living being here on Mother Earth. Thank you for bringing us the teachings of the sacred serpent Amaru, providing us with their cosmic wisdom and divine intelligence of these primordial creatures, bringing the unconscious into our consciousness. Thank you for bringing us abundant wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, memory, remembrance, so that we have clarity in our vision. Thank you for activating our Kundalini and genetic energy within our backbone and integrating the sacred knowledge of Pachamama in order for us to become roots and to seed, sprout, bloom, and give fruits. To the direction of the west, Kontisuyu, Apu, Nusta, Lankai, sacred labor, and Wilka Unu, the sacred water, to give us new life. Hampui, come and be with us here. Thank you for the sun that sets in the west to complete our cycle and being ready and anticipating for the next cycle. Thank you for the great Lankai essence to be always in sacred service, in sacred labor, and for the sacred condor witnessing our mission here on earth, always seeing the big picture from high above, making our hearts light and liberating ourselves, acknowledging all that we have learned and have achieved, and bringing powerful blessings to where we are right now, sending prayers for our well-being, renewal, and healing for ourselves, our family, and our community. To the direction of the north, Chintai Suyu, Apu Nusta, Kausai, life force energy, and Wilka Alpa, the sacred earth, to connect all life on earth. Hampui, come and be with us here. Thank you for connecting us with our cosmic ancestry, the sun, Inti Taita, the moon, Mama Kia, the stars, Chaskakuna, the constellations, Koilakuna, and the planets, to assist us with the life force energy and vitality here on Pachamama Earth, and to dream abundantly together. Thank you for allowing us to be in communion with sacred Pumatiti, the powerful guardian of all our ascension, spiritual communion, and protector of light. Thank you for allowing us to physically transcend here on Pachamama, to be grounded with her for the well-being of ourselves, our family, and our community. And I invite you to breathe in and out in gratitude, deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth, all the way to your belly. And just take a moment to integrate all of these energies that have offered themselves during this prayer. And I also would like to offer a song here. Viento, aliento, cura, cura el corazón. Viento, aliento, libre, libre el corazón. Taita vida, abre mi camino. Inti, taita, brilla mi destino. Agua de la vida, cura, cura, cuerpecito. Agua de la vida, cuida, cuida, espiritito. Pachamamita, linda madrecita, serenita, limpia maguita. Thank you, and feel free to come back. And you may want to post something about your experience. And my own experience is always to, by being present and in ceremony and acknowledge all of these allies, that I'm actually receiving more by being present for all that I have given as well. So I want to move on to the next teaching, which is very important, that we are all crystal beings. And in Master Puma's name, there's this word Quispe, which means crystal. And in the Keto communities, there are actually many people carrying that same name. And crystals have the highest frequencies. And actually, we all have crystals in our body. We are made up of crystals. And when I did my own research, I read that crystals are a structured array of molecules organized in geometrical shapes. And there are all these repeated patterns, and these are all reflected in our cells, in our tissues and bones. And they're all weaved around in our blood circulatory systems and nervous systems and muscular systems. So we have all of these crystal structures in our bodies, but they may not be as rigid as we may know them. They're more like liquid, and they're also described as liquid crystals. And if we look further, we have crystals in our pineal gland for our clarity and intuition and vision and to see in the invisible realms. And we have them in our brains for sensory communication. And we have them in our ears for balance. And we have them in our heart for electricity to pump the blood throughout our body. And we have them in our bone structure through these repeated patterns to build strength. And we have them also in our cells as some sort of an energetic circuit to enable us to receive and transmit energy. So we are made up of crystals. And what's more is, as you know, or many of you probably know, is that we are made of water, 70% of water, just as much as planet Earth. And also knowing the work from Masaru Emoto and Veda Austin, we have these crystallized forms in our waters, in our blood and lymphatic systems. And therefore it's also important that we need to live in right relationship within ourselves and our surroundings, because our crystalline body can vibrate in a light or heavy state of frequency, but also balanced with beauty or hardened with toxins. So when we structure the waters in our bodies more consciously, we can become walking liquid crystals, and also with the potential to influence our environment and amplify that energy in our environment. And as the energy of the watery environment in our body also changes, as we bath all of these trillions of cells within us, we also have the capacity to transmute some old cellular memories and even shift some of our expressions of our DNA, and supporting our bodies also to naturally heal. And if we are perceiving ourselves as crystal beings, and we recognize that we have all of these crystals throughout our entire body, then we can see this as an inner technology that we always have access to. And it's also part of our nature that we are crystal beings, but we may have yet to become more familiar with. And Master Puma teaches us this practice to working with our crystal cells by imagination or visualization, or working with actual crystals in our Mesa Misha bundle. And he says that crystals are really high, vibrating in a very high way, and there's no way that hucha can come in. Crystals cannot channel any hucha energy. They can only channel light energy. And the moment when hucha or heavy energy touches or comes in contact with this crystal, it has no choice to transform and to become sami, so light energy. And crystals have this amazing capacity or this amazing power to transform any heavy living energies. So if we are more conscious about our crystal nature, we can also overcome these heavy living energies. And then we can also overcome things that happened in our past. And as the future is not there yet, we can actually influence our present and be this crystal being and be this gift as an offering to the earth, and really utilize this crystal energy to transmit that in our environment. So we become that offering ourselves and becoming this high frequency of energy, this state in this crystal nature. We are also becoming of best service, and we are becoming that medicine. And as Master Puma also says, and this concept of Aini, nothing goes really one way. Energy flows two ways. So if we transmit heavy energy, we will receive it back in one form or another. So it is important to visualize ourselves in a crystal and transmit this light energy. And we can do this by, as I mentioned, these different body parts in ourselves, and then we can focus on this lightning energy that kind of moves in our whole nervous system and vibrates into all of the directions. And what I think is so beautiful is that this practice is so ancient. It belongs to our ancestors, and they had this practice to imagine themselves in a crystal in order to bring this highly refined energy, like these highly vibrating energies like unconditional love, joy, happiness, light, vitality, all of these energies. So in that way they could transform any heavy living energies like stress or blockages, tensions, guilt, and all of these things. So this is really like a technology that we can tap into. And when we are conscious about sending that Sami light energy, we also are going to receive it back in Aini in one form or the other. And he always says like yes or yes. There's no other chance that you will receive it back. Yeah, and what is also very important is that this practice can be done every time, but we always need to do it consciously, to raise our frequency for ourselves, our family, our community, and the earth. And is therefore a practice to be in the highest frequency and to offer ourselves as the greatest gift of being optimal health and service. And being in this light state also helps us to be more awakened. And we are more awakened because we perceive energies better. We can receive messages from Pachamama and the cosmic allies better. And we are also more awakened because we can actually send that energy in a more awakened state. And we can send that healing energy or whatever energy we want people to receive in a more conscious way with our intent, with our breath, and also through our mesa or sacred altar. So to really support our surroundings with this as well. And when we are more in Aini, when we are more in balance with ourselves, then we become more empty and we become more of a portal. So magic can actually really move through us and magic happens through us. So we can become that energy that we want to transmit, and we become that sort of healing force or love transmitter as well. And when we are more in balance and in Aini, we are also in reciprocity and more aligned with this magic. And that is how we can really touch one another in our environment, and just by being and without really doing much from this place. And the next teaching I would like to share is that we are children from the sun. We are multidimensional beings. And I know that in different cultures and religions, there's a different way of perceiving the great creator or the great I am. And as Master Puma teaches it, is that we are all children from the sun. We are children from the absolute sun, the sun of suns. Is like the sacred divine origin, and we are all part of that. And we are all light beings. We're all children of the light. And we are all part of this oneness, this one divine consciousness, and manifested here on Pachamama Earth through our great cosmic father and cosmic mother. And we have all this light that has come into this human form, into this existence. We just need to shine that light in service for our family and community. And when I heard this for the first time from Master Puma, I immediately resonated with this idea of that we are coming from the absolute sun. As mentioned, I had a very different career, and it was also a time that I was accumulating a lot of baggage that really piled up, and I really needed to work on myself. And I was really I was at a crossroad. And at that time, Buddhism was the only spiritual practice I knew. But it really helped me during challenging and difficult times. And when I received my first shamanic soul retrieval, I felt that my practice was slowly sort of evolving from Buddhism to shamanism. And when I was doing the integration for myself and I was in prayer and I was chanting this mantra called Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, which I still use, I started to connect with the spirit world, and I had a very strong vision that I still really clearly remember today. And I saw myself at a sun, a really big bright star, and perhaps it is the absolute sun that Master Puma has been referring to. And I saw myself saying yes, I heard myself saying yes to this life, yes to this planet Earth, yes to my chosen Buddhist parents, and yes for these times that are very transformational. And I knew that I had to sort of work on myself, on my family lines, on this lifetime here on earth, but I also knew that I was here for a bigger service, to serve for the betterment of the world and serve the humanity and, all living things. And this experience of seeing myself in this other realm whilst I was in prayer or I was sort of journeying, is a perfect example that we are multidimensional beings, and that we can journey to different realms and to different dimensions, and that we are also interrelated with our cosmic father, our cosmic mother, and sacred time and sacred space, our great mother earth, and all of our allies. And I may have chanted for an hour long to come to this sort of awakened state and have these visions and message and insights, but this can be done really in ceremony as well, by being present and by being in communion with all of our allies. We can also get to this state and receive all of these beautiful messages and new information, which is the divine intelligence. And we are, of course, like a part of the microcosmos. We have the Pachamama within us, and therefore we have that sort of cosmic wisdom also within us. So we can tap into these states by being in ceremony. And we can transcend this time and space and be outside ourselves, or not limited to our physical reality and not limited to our five senses only. And that is such an exciting thing as well to explore further by being in ceremony. And there's so much more that is waiting for us to discover. And I believe that this teaching is also, or this experience that I had with this Buddhism practice whilst I was in prayer, is that spirit will always hear us, and the importance of prayer and how we sort of fill that in for ourselves and make it own for ourselves, because that language will always be heard by spirit for our destined path, for our rightful path. So I think this is also what I hear across different shamanic teachings as well, about the importance of prayer. And in the Andean tradition, each one of us live in this sort of energetic light bubble. And I believe that can be also seen as this huge, gigantic crystal, as we were talking about ourselves as crystal beings. And this may be seen very microscopic as far from above, but we are also having effect on the macrocosmos, because we are crystal technology ourselves. We have this portal, we have this within us in our body that we can tap into, and it comes from our heart and it flows throughout our body, and it can go through all of the directions by being in communion and receive these connections and messages from our cosmic allies. And by being in ceremony, we can really open up our own individual portals and be open for any transformation that is ready to transform, or for any healing, and of course for the continuation for our self-realization. And we can discover in ceremony many dimensions of ourselves and receive these powerful experiences and gifts. And these gifts are really the presence that we are receiving here from our cosmic mother and cosmic father and from our allies, and in return we can become the best gift as well, in sacred service, in sacred reciprocity for our families and communities. That's what we are always learning from Master Puma. And I want to focus on something about how we can be of best service, and that is really from within and then outside of ourselves. And now we know that we are connected with our crystal selves and our cosmic parents. We are also really part of this sacred geometry of nature and the universe. And in the Andean cosmology, when we embrace our true nature as beings of light, we are, really realizing that we are beings of light. So we have this bigger perception, and then we can actually transcend some stuff that happened in the past. Of course, we need to do some work on that, but we are able to let go of the past, and we are able to release the worries in the future. And by being really present, we can really direct our future and become the highest selves in this present, in this moment, and being the greatest gift for the world and for our community. And letting go frees us from the past, and being the present is really allowing ourselves to be in gift and offering a present in the moment. And I said already that when we are living in the present moment, then we are already creating and recreating our future. And it is important by being in the present moment is to acknowledge ourselves like where we are right now. And we may not feel at peace, or we may have stuff happening around us, but when we are acknowledging that, actually we're already in this portal of transformation. We are actually already moving energy by just acknowledging it. And if we want to find that peace, we actually can sort of journey into the other dimension for that peace and transcend that and receive that and experience that peace in this present moment. So we can bring whatever reality we desire in this moment right now. And the ultimate goal is really to be also in harmony with ourselves and in harmony and in balance at all levels, physically and psychologically and spiritually. And along the way, we might find like really hard processes and difficult times. And there's this other concept that is so beautiful, which is called tinkui in the Quechua language. And there's always this choice that we have when we're facing difficulty to either battle with them or dance with them. And by dancing with them, we are creating more harmony. And that's really the goal, to have that choice and choose dance, and do that also with joy and beauty and love. And when we dance with these difficult situations, we are actually already healing ourselves. And therefore, we are also healing our families and communities. And we are also liberating ourselves from these difficulties, challenges, and struggles. And again, these concepts in the Quechua language is so beautiful that we really need to treasure, because we cannot really translate it in one word. It's such a big depth and concept around these words. And I also want to mention something about that. We are here on earth, and we are facing these difficulties and challenges perhaps, but we are also reminded by our Father Sun and Mother Moon, the light and the dark, to see these shadows in our past. We are meant to see them here on earth and really harmonize with these shadows here on earth, and also to find the gold in every darkness that we have to experience, and really seek balance and equilibrium in every experience. And what is important is, of course, we know this concept about unconditional love, but how do we get there? We need to have self-love, and in order to have self-love, we need to forgive ourselves, and we have to forgive all of the aspects at all different levels, so we can actually really move into this gratitude state and this unconditional love state. And therefore, to really come into this self-love and self-forgiveness, we really need to go within. We need to go first inside and then outside. And from within, we find the treasures. We find the insights, we find the aha moments, and we find that light bulb, that light that we need to cherish. And from that light, we can enlighten ourselves further and our environment. So we need to honor all of these aspects, our shadows and our lights, and so that we can become also that light and that source of love. And we also need to become more one with everything, one with ourselves, one with our shadows, one with our light, one with all of these aspects in the universe. So that will bring us more strength as well, and gifts. And then when we sense heavy energies that is maybe approaching, perhaps it is within or it is collective or unconscious, we are in this process also better to discern what these energies are, and then we can choose to dance with them, and we can choose to become that crystal and enlighten ourselves and transform these heavy energies into light energies. And I love this phrase that Nokankani team has been using as well, that we need to become empty. We need to empty our cup so that we can receive more. So we have to empty all of this heaviness. We have to empty any of that to liberate ourselves, and so that we can receive more and also be more open for all of the magic and miracles that are actually always around us. And it's also very important to be conscious that we have this medicine always available to us, because the Pachamama is always there, our cosmic father and cosmic mother is always there, our cosmic allies are always there, we have our sacred elements, our essences, they're always there, and ceremonies is always there. We just need to be conscious about it and be in ceremony, and that is medicine. And celebrating every day is a powerful miracle, and it's a medicine. And when we are in ceremony, there's another beautiful word that's called puklai, which means to play, and which means to be pure and innocence. And so we come into this pure state of innocence, and it's so important to be in that state, to play in ceremony and feel ourselves as our, sacred beings and in all its divinity. And along the ways, we may be faced with some tests and trials in our own little, in our own awakening journeys. There's little things that may be popping up as well, and that is the greatest gift and experience of life. And in order for us to really grow, we need to also look for the challenges as well, and to reach out to our spirit allies and turn these challenges into possibilities. And this is the power of accessing these sacred miracles and be in sort of an ongoing daily communion. And this is the power of entering these miracles, and we do this always in service, in love, and in ceremony for our family and community. And we don't do this, of course, just for ourselves, but really for the greatest good for all. And we are in ceremony conscious about all of these people, as I was saying, all around the planet, and we are creating this ceremony together for the healing of the planet. And this is really our service and ceremony. And I want to tap into some other teachings as well, as I was mentioning about our crystal cells, our crystal beings, and being this portal and being really connected with our cosmic father and cosmic mother and Pachamama Earth and all of the directions and all of our sacred essences and allies. We do also have these sacred essences in ourselves as well. And so often perhaps people think that some of the powers is outside of us, but in the Andean traditions, they really teach us that we have them all within us, and we have them all embodied within us, and we just need to be conscious of them. So each of us has these sacred essences. Munai, our divine unconditional love. Yachai, our divine intelligence. And Lankai, our sacred service. And Kausai, which is our vitality and life force energy. And I want to just show you where these energy centers are in our own body. So we have our own light energy bubble, or also called our Pokpo, or our crystal cells. And then we have our sacred essences. And starting from the top of our crown to our throat, we have the temple, or the sacred essence of Yachai, which represents the powerful wisdom, the cosmic intelligence. It's also the creative lightning energy to be always able to awaken into some sort of a new consciousness so that we can actually perceive life as a miracle and really perceive all these blessings and abundance that are actually always available to us. And from our throat to our diaphragm, so a little below our heart, we have the temple there of Munai, the sacred essence of Munai. This is the place where we cultivate our unconditional love and the power of love under our will. It is also the place of beauty, to really see beauty in everything and everyone around us. And it's also here that we are expanding our love for ourselves and love for everything and everyone around us. And from our diaphragm to our navel, or a little below that, we have the sacred essence of Lankai, which is about the sacred labor. It's about the sacred labor and the sacred service. So that's the Lankai essence. And it's also about being able to lift weight effortlessly and to manifest things without really acting on it. So it all happens really fluidly. And from our navel to our perineum, or our root, we have another sacred essence called Kausai, which is our life force energy, our own vitality. And it's also a place where we have self-empowerment. This is also the place where we can co-create with Pachamama and our cosmic allies. So this is not necessarily the place for reproduction only. It's really more about this bigger concept about creation. And as mentioned, like, many people think that this life force energy may be something that is outside of us, but it is all within us. And we have all the power already within us. And we are that portal. We just need to be conscious about it and strengthen and grow them through our relationship with nature and our spirit allies. And these concepts is actually also that we are this tree of life ourselves. And the top from the crown to the throat is basically our branches of the trees, and the rest from our throat down to our feet is our trunk. And then we have the root going to the earth. So we are all interrelated in that way. And in honor also of the medicine of our ancestors and to create global healing, we need these strong, powerful alliances. We need to be aligned with these cosmic allies, but we need to first take care of ourselves, and then we can work on our family and community and planet as well. And we are Pachamama, microscopic to macroscopic. And ceremony is really about being of best service, and do this all consciously and in gratitude and in love and in celebration. So I want to offer you another meditation to integrate all of these pieces that I have talked about ourselves, of being crystal beings, about these portals of Muna, Yacha, Lanka, Kausai. And I also will, of course, share something about Puma's training. But before I do that, I just want to share something about a sacred animal that is dear to me, which is Hampatu. And some of you has maybe noticed the frog image on this ceremonial image that I had. And this sacred frog, also called Hampatu in the Quechua language, stands for global healing. And it is also an ally from Master Puma's lineage. And this sacred frog is also known as the owner of Mother Earth. And it is a carrier of life. It is also representing fertility and abundance. And they say that there is no life without the frogs. They are the keepers of Pachamama, and Mother Earth belongs to them. And without the frogs, there wouldn't be life here on Earth. and are very sacred among the reptilian species like the serpent and great Amaru. And what is also beautiful about this sacred frog is how deeply he's in communion with all of the elements, like with the earth that he walks on the water he can swim in, and the big leaps, the jumps he can make in the air for dreams to really happen, to make these epic jumps, but also the fire element for his fertility, because I heard that even when the species is threatened to be extinct, that the male can produce the eggs as well. So there is really no life here without the frogs. And in many cultures, the frog represents that the rain is coming. And to me, I saw this beautiful video, and I love when the frog sings. And this is how the frog actually really vibrates and creates this ripple effect. And to me, that really represents this powerful rippling healing effect that everyone has within them as well. And to bring this rippling healing effect into the world. So I want to invite you to move into this meditation, the next one, and take a moment there and close your eyes. And again, feel Pachamama Earth below your feet and the cosmos connected with your top of your head, and have your straight spine, the backbone like the serpent, and be really connected with these three worlds, above, below, and the center, and perceive yourself also as the center of centers, the sun of the suns, being in the center of all the directions, being this microscopic Pachamama. And I want to invite you to see yourself in this big crystal. See yourself in this big, gigantic crystal, a clear quartz crystal that is enveloping your whole body. That crystal that's also within your body, and it extends outwards. And just take a moment here as the crystal represents the sun, the purity, the light. And just release anything that you want to release. Any thoughts, feelings, emotions, anything that feels heavy, that will be immediately transmuted by being in this crystal consciousness. Any old patterns, anything that can all be transformed right now, here in this moment. And seeing yourself in this crystal. And as I mentioned to you, these other portals, sense your own yachai, this cosmic divine intelligence around your third eye, around your head, and your munai, your unconditional love, the power of love, and to see the beauty around your heart, and your Lankai portal, your sacred service, the powerful acts, but doing this all effortlessly, and around your root, the Kausai essence, your life force energy, your empowerment, and sense all of these energies within you that is always available to you when you're in ceremony. And I want to offer here something, a song. Chakanam, son of the suns, Munai, Yachai, Lankai, causai. Gracias, gracias, Pachamama. Gracias, Pachamama. Oh, gracias, gracias, Pachamama, por tu medicina. Oh, florecita, florecita, floreciendo. Vamos floreciendo. Oh, vuela alto, vuela libre, lindo condorcito, linda Siva Kenti. Y Jesús cuerpo ya se está curando, ya te está sanando. Oh, gracias, gracias, Pachamama, por tu medicina. Oh, 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 oh. And feel still this connection with the cosmos and being the portal with Pachamama Earth and being this crystal, and imagine yourself being this crystal Hampatu, the cosmic gardener, the sacred frog. And as we are sending this Sami energy, this Sami Ani energy, the light energy, we are also sending Hampi healing energy for ourselves as a ripple effect. And channel with your crystal divine forces, the liquid crystals in your body, and transmit that all out through the Hampatu. And sending it to your loved ones, the ones that need most first. And in gratitude to Pachamama, you send it all out to the planet. And take some deep breaths here again. In through your nose and out through your mouth, all the way to your belly. To integrate. I'm going to offer some tobacco as well that has been used also in the Andes for blessings and to clear heavy energy and to move it to refined energy and also enjoy and celebration. Saminchukui, Tulunchukui, Yaranchukui, Kapanchukui, Hampu, Hampu, Hampui. And just receive the tobacco medicine. And you may now open your eyes. And I have also prepared like a kintu, like a sacred offering for us all, which is a sacred prayer and consists of 3 coca leaves, but it can be any type of leaves that you can also bring into your everyday life to create ceremony and to create an offering for Pachamama, for your allies, or any wishes or praise that you want to give on a day. And these are just really simple acts of making ceremony for yourself in your life. And also because I was thinking a couple of days ago was the full moon, so we can still use that energy and to release anything that we don't want to carry anymore, and letting go of attachments and stepping into this new cycle, as well as that we have the solstice coming up next month. So I have this Kintu carrier here for you. And what you need to do is blow your intent into this little offering that I have, and you can blow deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth and just send your prayers, whatever you want to wish for or anything that you are grateful for. You can send them in this Kintu, and I ask people who already know this, the Mesa Curse, to lead the way. Thank you. Thank you. And I will be offering this Kintu to Pachamama after our ceremony. So I want to, now I completed the teaching portion, I want to tell you a little bit more about Puma's course and training, because I really feel it's so rich and so deep. And we will put the links in the chat as well, where you can find more information. But Master Puma will be doing again this Peruvian healing practices and sacred ceremonial service immersion training, which is a 1-year immersion. And you will receive weekly teachings from Master Puma himself and bi-weekly integration sessions by his No Kankani team. And there's also like these puklai, like play in ceremony groups every month. And like I said, there's so much that is always shared that I'm actually taking it myself again as well for further deepening. And you may are interested to join me there as well. And I think that's all what I wanted to cover for today. And so thank you so much for being here. And I hope that there was something here that you can take and bring with you and then inspire you. And yeah, I will be open to hear from you. Any questions if there's anything.
I see lots of gratitude, and I don't see any questions at this moment.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Really inspiring, very clear. And the chat will not be included in underneath the video, but we will include the prayer and the Quechua words that were in the chat.
Well, thank you all. I see beautiful comments there, so very glad because it was also my first time, so it was, of course, a little challenging for myself as well. But I was really happy to share this because I think it's so important that these wisdom traditions will be more spread around us, and we also have, um, yeah, we are able to share that as well because we have this sort of permission to do that. And I think that's really beautiful. And I'm always still amazed by his teachings, and they always feel fresh and enriching. So I really encourage you to go to also his website, Nokankani, and of course look further into his this offering, this immersion offering.